So, Dr. DeCerbo, I want to go back to you. I know that in addition to being the Chief Learning Officer at the Khan Academy, you're also a psychologist. And one of the things that we've always been extremely concerned about is just the mental health for all of our employees and, in addition, all of their children as well. So, can you talk to us a little bit about what parents need to keep in mind for children's mental health as school begins?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, as you said, all of us are under new kinds of stress right now. And it's important to keep an eye out for your kids in particular if that's getting to be kind of beyond what they can handle and if they might need some extra assistance and help. And so in younger kids in particular, those kinds of signs often show up as physical symptoms. And so keep a monitor on things like changes in sleeping habits, changes in eating, increased just complaints about aches and pains. Also, of course, things like withdrawal and trouble focusing. All of these may be signs not of a physical problem, but actually that stress and anxiety that we're seeing. And if you have concerns, reach out for support. Your school, often your teachers and the school counselors will have resources, and your primary care physician will have resources that they can help you think about how to deal with some of those signs and symptoms that may be happening in this extra stress.
And Dr. Jubel, back to you on this same topic. We all know that kids are hearing everything that's going on in the news. And how do we talk to them or deal with any apprehension or fear that any age student, frankly, might have about the fall semester and just all the new ways that they're going to have to learn?
Yeah, I think we're all kind of grappling with how to explain virus to children. My 18-month-old now says COVID, so it's pretty remarkable. I think the first thing to do when you're talking to children about difficult topics is that it's really important to use clear and very direct language. So let your child know that you can talk at any time about what they may be thinking or feeling. So letting them know that you're there for them is very important. But of course, children may approach and want to talk when you're not available. So, you want to make sure that when you do begin a discussion, that you have the time to engage. So if a child approaches you and you're in the middle of another task or say a work call, it's okay to say, you know what, this is really important. This is a really important question, and I want to make sure I give you my full attention. Right now I'm busy at the moment, but let's talk at X time. And this statement helps to validate the importance of the child's question or thought, but it also allows you a bit of control around when you discuss it.
Another item that I wanted to just get both of your all's perspective on. So our team is thinking of ways to support employees who will have to make the decision about whether or not to send their children to school this fall. Dr. DeCerbo, what are some tips for talking to our kids about why we may not be returning to the workplace, but they're being asked to return to go back to class?
Yeah, it's a tough one. And I think some of us as adults are trying to figure out, like, why can I do this and not that? But the fundamental piece of this is talking about how important we think learning is for kids. And so if you are in an area where it's the case that many things are still shut down, but school is not, your message can be that we're focusing on opening the really important things first, and school is really important. So we're delaying other things to make it safe for kids to go to school. Other places are in a different environment. In some places, bars and gyms are open and we're not shutting down. In which case, though, the continued message should be keep talking about how important learning is and focus on what school is doing to keep them safe. You want to convey realistic confidence in their safety. So realistic and confidence. Particularly the younger kids, you want to express more certainty. As they get older, you can talk through a little bit more of the ambiguity around some of these decisions that are being made.
Dr. Jubel, do you have any perspective on this?
Yeah, I think Dr. DeCerbo made some really good points, and I agree with all of the comments she made about how to frame this to kids. And I think this is just such a difficult subject. So, one thing I will just add to what she said is that if you're kind of put on the spot, it's always okay to say, I don't know. No one has all of the answers right now, and it's okay to take some time away and take some of that pressure off to not have the perfect answer in that moment. A helpful resource that I found is the CDC has put out a decision-making tool that outlines various considerations to think about when deciding whether or not to send your child back to school. So you might be able to use this as a resource for yourself, to use this information to organize your thoughts, inform your decision-making.
To learn more about AT&T and our response to the coronavirus, subscribe to this channel, visit the AT&T newsroom, or watch more videos on the playlist seen here.